My name is Paul Musco. I've got the Salty Pirate here, the building that we're in right now. We turn into one of the hubs down here for the hurricane relief. You know, I think the post went out on Saturday of the day after the storm, and by Sunday we had hundreds of cars rolling through the parking lot. By the time church ended, the word went out in the churches that we were doing this drive here, and the overwhelming response just the first day made us realize that this was going to turn into something, something big, and we started to get more and more volunteers on board. And by Monday, we were able to leave with a 26-foot, our first truck loaded, and hit the road to the Bakersville, Burnsville, Spruce Pine area.
Honestly, this is norm for us. We get hit with storms all the time, so we know what it's like to go through a hurricane and to be impacted and to feel helpless without electricity and without power. We know what that's like to not have supplies. And what really got me involved was Paul Musco. He always jumps to the task and jumps to the need when people were in need for help, and he started a really good thing.
What Josh said, what spurred us was just seeing the devastation the day after the storm passed, and knowing that we've been through this before, we knew right away that Western North Carolina needed our help.
You don't have a perspective of what a case of water means. We walk by them in the grocery store every day. You see a case of water, it's not a big deal, and up there it's life. And when you see people that don't have it, you see people that have just lost everything, and the only thing they're walking down a mountain with is the clothes off their back, because everything they've worked their entire life for, and they're walking down with kids, and everything's gone. It's very impactful.
Yeah, I think the first moments landing on the ground there were surreal, almost unimaginable. The devastation that we saw, stuff that we don't see down here at the coast. The destruction was above and beyond anything that we've seen here. And so the people coming down off the hills were, just as shocked to see us as we were to see them. And that was what started to spur the whole thing right there on the spot.
One of the more challenging moments is just seeing devastation. People have just lost everything. Everything I can't imagine. I've got a 2-year-old little girl that I've worked in preparation to provide things, and I can't imagine what it would be like to just everything that I was prepared for. I mean, tomorrow, if you find out you've got a kid coming, you do things to prepare for that. And for all that to be taken and you have to start over, it's impactful.
One of the more challenging moments for us when we got there was just trying to figure out who needed help and what they needed and where they were. It's not like being down here at the coast where there's an easy map to follow. For one, there was nothing, no GPS was working. We don't know that area ourselves, and trying to find out where these people were and what they needed and the logistics of it all to go up these dirt paths that you don't know if you're going to find a house up there or find what you're going to find, and then not even be able to access them because of the trees that are down, one after another after another after another, and trying to work an area. So having to get in as quick as we could with somebody that had been there their whole lives, knowing where to go, where to be, and what was needed was our biggest challenge. But once that started, it just took off. So we connected the most with the community of Bakersville, Spruce Pine area, where the school is called Penland School of the Craft. They took us in, and all of their families there, all of their friends were there, and their campus was there. They were able to steer us in the right direction to where we needed to be and who needed help the most and critical. We started making lists. We put 911 after people that were on oxygen, people that needed medication, people that we needed to get to first. And then we had mid-level and low level. Low priority, was just people that had already been checked on that might need some supplies, stop by, say hello. Just a smile and a wave to some people just changed their entire day. So the Penland School of the Craft in the Bakersville area was where we concentrated our work on, and Josh had gone over a little further. I think, are you further west? Or?
Maggie Valley, a little bit further west than Asheville. So luckily I had boots on the ground there, a local guy from here, Ryan Mills, who I was able to reach out to, which was a huge help. When you're going into a place like that that's been completely devastated and you're doing what Paul did and you're going in blind, I didn't have to fight that battle that he was having to fight. So I had someone on the ground from here that I was able to somewhat communicate with. It was kind of hard being that the internet was down, phone service was down, but I was able to get in touch with him. So he had things set up for me there. When we pulled into Jonathan Creek and Maggie Valley, that was almost like a hub for stuff. The bad thing, people don't realize, all these places right off of 40 are getting everything because it's like, okay, we're here, you get off an exit, oh, these people need it. But there's so many places beyond that that aren't getting reached. So one good thing about where we were able to go was they were a hub for getting stuff out to people that needed it.
I think the easiest way to stay resilient while providing, assistance and help to these people was just the fact of knowing that what we were doing to change and make their lives a little bit easier in some of their darkest days and toughest times. Seeing the tears, getting the appreciation, the thank yous, and just was able to keep us going day after day after day. We were exhausted. We didn't even realize how tired we were until we stopped, and then we realized that we were just gassed for the day. We worked most nights till after dark. We're working with headlamps and headlights and pulling trees and doing stuff that probably, we shouldn't have been doing, but we knew that we had to. We had to get through some of these houses as quick as possible and get to these people. And so just the people themselves are what drove us to do what we did.
Keeping a positive and resilient attitude. When you pull up to people who have just lost everything and they still find a way to put a smile on their face, you have no reason but to smile with them. And I mean, it is amazing. I noticed people that lost everything were more worried about the people beside of them that lost everything. That's what I hate about when you turn on the news, social media right now. That's not how it is up there. These people are helping each other. They're going out. I mean, it's every willing hand. I mean, I pass people who you could tell need help, and they look at you and say, give it to somebody who needs it. And that's what kept me going.
For the people that want to volunteer, after the whole movement started to spur, I was inundated with messages. I couldn't even respond to them anymore. There was hundreds of people that wanted to come up. I think one of the biggest pieces of advice is to know where you're going and what you're going into, and to have a spot where you're ready to land. Going up there blindly with not having any kind of lead or anybody to direct you once you get there, you can sometimes be a hinder to the people that are trying to get the power lines back up, to the people that are trying to feed people, to the rescuers. So if they want to volunteer and they're ready, I think to have somebody to touch base with that's up there, some boots on the ground, like Josh said, somebody that's able to tell them where to go and what to do is the key to being able to volunteer to get up there. Otherwise, it's also valuable to have people back here. We can't do what we're doing up there without the support team back here, setting up supplies, getting calls through the people we need to get calls through to them, just getting us on the ground of where we need to be logistics-wise. And so the whole package is important. I think it's whatever your skill set is, know what your limits are and stick to that.
I'll just say, and I'm gonna pull my phone out for this, if you can't get up there and you want to help, 15 box trucks have left Salty Pirate, 1 horse trailer slammed full, 6 cargo trailers, 7 enclosed trailers, 18 personal trucks.
And a boat stocked full of, and a boat stocked full on the back, being towed up there full of supplies.
Oh, bottles of water. You want to help? Bottle of water helps. Baby diapers help. If you really wish you could do something and your little one's running around tonight, look for things in your life that you use every day that aren't that big of a deal, because a bottle of water is a big deal up there. Baby diapers, baby wipes, aspirin, things that we take for granted every day. Those are the best ways to contribute. Well, we'll be back.
Yes, so everybody up in Western North Carolina, just keep doing what you're doing. There's neighbors helping neighbors, there's strangers helping strangers. From everything that we saw, if they continue to stay on the path they're on, they're gonna rebuild. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back stronger, and they're gonna come back better with the help of everybody in Eastern North Carolina and actually the entire country. And there was people from other countries who met there as well. Some people from Canada came down. They're used to some of the terrain there, and they were knocking it out. So everybody up in Western North Carolina, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job.